Alright everybody, welcome to a new kind of video that's going to be going up on the channel. I wanted to make these tiers for all sorts of different games that I really enjoy. I've seen the videos up before and yeah, they seem really fun. Now you might be thinking to yourself, wait a second. Is this the hunt video? Is Lemons trying to delay the horrible loadouts we requested from the last vid? And I just gotta say my answer to that is definitely not. What we're going to be doing is ranking all of the traits. Here they are. I accidentally have Conduit twice for whatever reason. But we're going to be ranking them by God tier. This shit slaps. Yeah, it's pretty good. Average, meh, trash tier, and literally never used, because despite my like several hundred hours in this game, there are some of these that yeah, just kind of never worth the points to put on. And we're gonna start with one that I have never put on, and that is Horn Skin. So what Horn Skin does is it reduces blunt damage by 25%. When are you gonna get hit by that? I'm guessing like zombies, probably like basic zombies, but I mean, who really gives a shit? All right, so next up we have Pack Mule. This one's I don't know what I'm feeling about this one. It can be useful because, well, first of all, what it does is when you loot bodies or like the little loot boxes, you have a chance of getting a second tool, which is nice. But for the most part, I never feel as though it's like a necessity for like your survival. And because of that, I think it's gonna stay in the average tier for now. Next up, we have Greyhound. This, to me, I personally feel as though it's God tier. I feel like when you have Greyhound, that's the type of mobility your character should have in this game, you know? And then when you don't have it, you just feel like you're at a -% rather than, you know, the actual normal. So Greyhound to me is God tier. Next up we got Adrenaline. This thing I've never used. Just like straight up. I feel like it's, again, is one of these really situational traits that I mean, like, why would you put your points towards it, you know? Like, the rarity of getting a level 50 character is pretty high. And so unless like I got it through quick play, then maybe I used it, but I don't even think it drops in quick play. Yeah, so not the best. Beast Face. This is a weird one. So Beast Face, I play a lot of duos. So Beast Face is nice if you and your duo partner both have it. If one of you doesn't, it's kind of counterproductive because you're usually going to be walking in like a pack together. And so if one of you doesn't have it, you're going to be setting off the animals anyways. So I think if everyone has it on the same team, this shit slaps. Alright, so next up we have Bloodless. What it does is it used to just like reduce the, I think, the effectiveness, bleeding, but now with the like light, medium, intense system that they have going on with the different effects in the game, it'll make it so that your bleeding will never escalate from the light standpoint to medium or intense. Is that really useful? I think it's better than what it used to be. I think it's right next. Oh, at the end of this video we're gonna do a little we're gonna work through the rest of them just to replace them, because already I feel like this should be here actually. Next up, Bolt Seer. This shit's garbage. I mean, if you're using the crossbow, you should know where you're shooting your things, and so just go pick them up. Right, like this shit just feels like it shouldn't be in the game. Next up we have Bolt Thrower. Now this is different. Bolt Thrower is pretty, I wouldn't put a God tier, because that's, God tier feels like it's something that should be like immediately applicable to all hunters. This obviously is only good if you have a crossbow going, but this shit slaps. This shit's pretty necessity. Next up, Bullock Grubber. So Bullock Grubber used to cost a lot. They did bring down the cost a couple patches ago, which made it a lot more useful. And the thing is, a lot of guns that are really like high tier in this game, namely like the Spectre, the Nagant, the Labelle, the Dolch, they all require Bullock Grubber unless you want to just like blast through your weapons. So yeah, I'll say it's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Alright, to give you guys an idea of what I think of Bulwark, I had to Google what it was called because I completely forgot what the fuck this thing was even called. So what it does is it reduces the damage of explosives. It's about as effective in this game as like EOD is in in Call of Duty right now, if you guys play that. It's alright. Oh god, no. Definitely not putting that in God tier. It's alright, but I'm pretty sure Bomb Line still one-shots you also, so we're gonna put this in like meh at best. Conduit gives you a bit of health when you loot a clue. Pretty good. Nothing great. Probably gonna go in high meh. I am gonna put them within order in their respective category. Alright, next up we have Deadeye Scope Smith. All of these honestly are pretty meh. All of like, I'm just gonna throw them in there. The Deadeye, the Sharpshooter, the Devastator, all of these where you just stay in the scope after shooting. It's kind of, it's not great just because of the fact that like, odds are you're gonna want to shoot and then either push up to fight them or back out because you missed, or you know, maybe they have a better advantage. And so really like, to just stand there and just keep shooting is probably not what you're gonna want to do either way. So it's just it's not, it doesn't really help much more than, oh, here's another one, there you go. Yeah, so none of these are, I wouldn't say they're bad, they're not trash tier, they're not bolt seer levels, but they're definitely not anything better than meh. Next up we got this Decoy shit. I don't even know what it's called. I haven't used it, you haven't used it. Like, let's be real here. Next up we got Termination. This is really nice. This helps you with something like the I'm putting this in God tier. Here's the explanation. I'm putting it in God tier. This helps you with like literally everything. If you're fighting zombies, you could back off, kind of, you immediately gain your stamina back if you ran out. Helps you with emulators, helps you with hordes of zombies to just knife them out without having to shoot. Beautiful. Match this with Greyhound and you're zooming across the map. I'm gonna put these two together along with these two afterwards. So Physician and Doctor. Doctor is insanely expensive. I'm quite certain it's the highest priced trait in the game at 8 points, 8 blood bond, whatever the fuck you want to call them. It's amazing though. It doubles the effectiveness of your med kits. I'm putting this in God tier, and especially when you put it together with Physician. So Physician doubles the heal time, and then this doubles the effectiveness. If you have a high level character, this is a ridiculous combo right here. Next up, we have Fanning, which slaps, and then we have Fanning's useless younger brother, which will go in, yeah, it's gonna go in the meh tier. Okay, so Fanning is really good just because it applies to a bunch of different pistols. It got nerfed recently, so I'm actually gonna put it in the yeah, it's pretty good because it did get nerfed. The hipfire range, or like area of effect, it's much less accurate than what it used to be, so maybe we'll put it in, yeah, it's pretty good. Maybe it doesn't slap. Levering is one of the newer perks. It's essentially Fanning except for any lever action, which is just the Winnie, I'm pretty sure. The Winnie's really good right now with the small ammo buff. I'm gonna put these ahead of these garbage perks, and I'll put it there. It's the king of the meh category. So next up we have Frontiersman. So this used to be some worthless shit, but then they updated it, and I think right alongside Doctor, this is the most expensive perk in the game. I think it's 8 as well. And what it does is it gives you an extra use of any carried consumable. So instead of, what is it, 2 concertina trip bars, you'd have 3. Instead of 3 health kits, you get 4, so on and so forth. It's good. It's very good, but it's not justifiable for the price that it is. Like, if you had to tell me to get Doctor or Frontiersman, I mean, I'm taking Doctor 100% of the time. So I think I'm putting it at the bottom of the average tier. Next up, Gator Legs. This kind of goes with the trifecta of Greyhound Determination. I really like it. I don't think it's God tier. I don't even think it slaps, and by itself, is it even pretty good? I'd say it's better than these three. Yeah, I'll put it at the bottom if it's pretty good. So what it does exactly is it just lowers the stamina that's drained when you go through the water. And personally, I never want to be in the water in this game, so if I have any perk that helps me get from like landmass to landmass, hey, you know, I'm grabbing that shit ASAP. Next up we have Guile. This is like Conduit, so I'm actually gonna put it right next to Conduit. It's like Conduit except you heal when you kill people. It could come in clutch, but for the most part, no, actually no, it's good. I like it. It's pretty good. I actually think it's maybe a little bit better than Conduit, because odds are if you're fighting people, you're most likely gonna get hit. So it's probably more consistently useful than Conduit is. Next up we have Kite skin. It's only 1 point. This is like my go-to like throw on at the end if I have an extra point on my character. It lowers the damage you take from fall damage. It's pretty good. It's probably like average, I'd say. Next up, Lightfoot. This is something I've grown to like love more and more the more I play Hunt. It's just because ladders and climbing in general is so loud in this game, and what this trait does is it lowers the effectiveness, which is really nice, or the sound I should say. Lightfoot's nice. Next up, I think we already have this in here, but I'm just gonna throw it in there just in case. Oh yeah, it's right there. All right, so that's another duplicate. My bad, guys. Next up we have Mithridist. So I used to like Mithridist a lot. It's essentially Bloodless except for poison. Yeah, for me I just find poison's like a lot more prevalent in this game. Be it with like the hives, the green barrels, the spider, which is essentially what I take it for. However, with the recent like insane buff to the antidote shots, lasting now up to 60 minutes, which is essentially like the entire game. Yeah, this shit's kind of useless now, to be honest. So I'm gonna put it at the bottom of the meh tier. We have Pack Mule a second time. Gonna throw it at the back. Then we have Pitcher. Pitcher is pretty clutch, especially with like tools or consumables being like more and more meta, with different perks like what's it called, Pack Mule, and also the little loot boxes that you can find, which is a somewhat recent update. Pitcher's nice. It can come in handy. It's pretty good. I'm gonna yeah, it's pretty good. This like fucking decoy trap, whatever the fuck, the trash tier. Okay, Quartermaster. This is a really cool perk. It just allows for like more creativity in the game, which I love. It also lets like the medium Jesus the medium slot weapons, such as like the Dolch Precision, the sawed-off shotguns, the Obras. It just allows those to fit into classes a lot better. And so I'm gonna say it's pretty good. I'll put it next to Bullock Grubber. I think that's fair. Alright, next up is Resilience. Every party in Hunt has the one player who's just dog shit. If that's you, take Resilience. What it does is when you get revived, it brings you up to 100 health, as opposed to whatever pissy small little amount you normally get. So it's pretty good. It's kind of niche, it's kind of random. I'm gonna put it in the meh tier above all of these bullshit like Deadeye Scope Smith things. Right there. It's better than Bulwark. It's better than Bloodless. Yeah, it goes right there. Alright, next up we have Salve Skin. This is alright. It just reduces the speed at which you burn. Considering like the way people play Hunt and like the instant burning that happens all the time, because they made it so that it actually it slows down burning even when you're dead, which is pretty nice. The ultimate counter is just to use a choke bomb, but I guess Salve Skin is like a soft counter. It's definitely better than Bloodless. I think it goes right here, right there. Serpent. This is gonna be a hot take. This is gonna be a really hot take, because I think everyone's enjoying it. It's the newest perk. What it does is it lets you claim clues or bounties from up to 10 meters away. And if you're wondering, wow, 10 meters, that doesn't sound like a lot. It's because it's not. It's really bad. And so I'm actually putting this in the trash tier. I'm gonna put it above Bolts here, but I think this perk is dog shit. I think it's the ultimate like noob bait in this game. Any new player is gonna see it and think, oh wow, that's really good. But then when you actually get down to using it, it just, oh my god, like it takes so long to actually claim a clue. Like, you're standing there, you can't hear anything because you're in dark sight, and yeah, anyone can just sneak up on you and dome you, or even dome you from a distance because you're standing like perfectly still. Moving on, we have Silent Killer. This thing's OP if you're using like the Bomb Lines class, or really like any melee class. I think it's the king of average. No, that's bullshit actually. I think it's better than Gator Legs. I think it goes right there. Next up we have these two perks. These kind of go in together. Can't remember the names right now, it doesn't really matter. This one lets you look through the scopes of rifles a little better, like it doesn't sway as much. Let's put in average. This works for, this is essentially just the Nagant precision pistol because trait, because it doesn't work for any other gun. No other pistol has a scope, so this is as niche as you're gonna get. So this will go into the meh category. Next up, okay, if you're if you're like a completionist whore, this Tomahawk perk is going to haunt you, because there's an achievement in this game to throw a hammer at an enemy hunter. This shit is impossible to do. I mean, my friend has tried it like for so many matches. Anytime I see him rolling with like the Tomahawk perk, I know to like bust out a level 1 hunter, because we're about to die immediately. I think it's fun. Is it good? No, I think it's trash tier. Alright, next up we have Vigilant. What it does is while you're in dark sight, you get to see traps a little better. It's dog shit. Just like straight up, it's not great. Okay, so this is actually the last perk now, because these are all duplicates that I have at the bottom. Alright, it lets you loot a body even if it's already been looted twice. I would say in theory this is good for trios, but there's actually a dirty little trick you can do. So if you're in a group of 3, well, first of all, I'm gonna place this. This is gonna go at the bottom of meh tier. Actually no, it's going trash. It's going behind the Tomahawk. So yeah, the dirty little trick. If you're in a group of 3, you're in a trio group, and you kill another duo or a trio, whatever it is, what you do is you have one of your team members loot the dead body, and then you have your 2 other team members loot the same body after at the exact same time. And it won't work all the time, but at least 80% of the time, everyone will be able to loot the body. It'll glitch and it'll give everyone something. It's a cheeky little trick. It's something that me and my friends, we abuse all the time. And yeah, it kind of makes Vulture completely useless, to be honest. So how do we feel about this list? If we do a last little roll through, yeah, I think this is good. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You know, we could fight it out in the comments. You know, if I put if Serpent's your favorite perk in the game and you want it in God tier, you know, fight me. It's trash tier for me. Hey, that's what makes the world go around, right? Is everyone having different opinions? I think this looks pretty good to me. Let me know what you guys think. As always, like, comment, subscribe on the video, and I'll be doing this for different games that I like. So I know I have like the Dark Souls series going right now. I'll probably do a Dark Souls boss difficulty tier list, as well as maybe some other games, Call of Duty weapons, something like that. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, see you on the next one. Ciao.